Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how we do for others because we want to. You know what I mean? We do for others because we want to, not because of the fact that we have to or because we're looking for something in return. You know what I mean? A lot of the times the opposition will be out here moving around and dealing with us based off of what they can get in return. And because they have this thought process, they feel or think that a lot of us think and operate the same way. And that's not always the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times you'll be in a position or dealing with an opposition and they may get frustrated and you'll hear that saying, oh, well, you don't care, or you only doing this because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's like, for one, we don't have the same belief system. So you aren't intaking your information and you aren't receiving your light from the same source as me. I don't even process shit that way. It's like if I held the door open for somebody, just a random person at the store, they don't have to say shit back to me. I did that because my spirit in the universe was just telling me to hold the door. I know a lot of times we look for something in return, and my spirit actually used to want to react to those kind of situations, to the point to where I damn near, I hold the door open for, I don't care if you're a male or female, old or young, but if I'm holding the door open for you, this is how it used to be before. It's like, if I hold it for you, you don't even acknowledge that it's being held for you, or just some kind of appreciation or gratitude. My spirit naturally wants to pull you by your shirt the fuck back, fling you outside the door, close the door back on you, and allow you to go about the process yourself. But that's not how I do it. And that's not how I approach it at the current stages that I'm in. But a lot of things, it'd be like, even when you think about people who like feel like you have to be in their energy or you have to be around them. And when you go around people, the main thing that bugs me is if I go into somebody's space or I allow them into my space and energy, they make it seem as if I have to be there. And then they start mentioning things or creating this weird kind of energy or energetic situations where it's just not flowing. You know what I'm saying? It's more friction and restriction and resistance than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what's the purpose of that? Like, if I didn't fuck with you or want to vibe with you, I wouldn't have drove an hour to get you or to be in your space. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't fuck with you and vibe with you, then I wouldn't have went to this restaurant or to this trail space with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, when we understand our free will and free choice and we're practicing it to be around different beings and other individuals, you know what I mean? It's like, because they have transactional relationships, they assume that that's the same way we process shit. And we don't process shit the same way they do as a transactional relationship. Okay, well, I only could do this for you if I get something in return. Or I only can go this place for you if I get something in return. Or I only can do this for you if I, me. So if there's no I or me at the end of it, then you already know a lot of them are going to have an extremely hard time with just doing something genuinely for you because they want to. It goes for even if they're helping you when your back is against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Even if your back is against the wall and they still helping you, it should be genuine help, wanting to help. Not, oh, well, I'm going to help you. And then the minute you give them some kind of something that they don't want to hear, something they don't like, now they're in the process of trying to retract, pull back, or do the opposite of helping you in the space that you're in. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that, like, is huge when it goes as far as with communicating outwardly with different people. It's huge for as far as reading energy. It's huge just as far as understanding that they are receiving their information over here, which is why they perceive things this way. And then you're receiving information over here, which is why you perceive it this way. So a lot of witchy motherfuckers and warlords and shit, they have these perceptions because of the team they come from. So it's like the other day I was on the trail, and right where the little bridge is at, where it goes from one side to the next side, somebody had left some AirPods sitting up there. Now, they was brought to my attention. I could have grabbed them, took them. They could have grabbed them and took them. Nobody would have saw. You know, we out in nature. There's no cameras. There's no people around. But my spirit is like, because of where my belief system comes from, it's like, why take it? You know, you're not a little kid anymore. You know better. You have some earbuds already. They might not be these exact ones, but you already have some. There's no purpose for taking something and doing more just because you can. I didn't need the AirPods. My daughter didn't need them. The other person I was moving around with didn't need them. So we left the AirPods there. I said, yeah, just leave them right there. We don't need them. I don't need them. Yes, we could take them. We could. But that is how you flex your free will and your free choice. I had a free will to take that shit and to put that energy out there. And I chose to not take it and to not put that energy out there. It all starts with the small things. And just because people aren't around seeing you doesn't mean that the universe isn't watching. Doesn't mean that you aren't still projecting that energy out and you won't get it in return. That's what you have to understand, that you still will get that energy in return. I didn't want to project that shit for what? I was already out here vibing, having a good vibe. Now me leaving them there could possibly, okay, the person comes back. Now their shit is still there for them. They don't have to worry about having a fucked up day or worry about their energy being off because their AirPods is gone and blah, 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 and just all these other things. You know what I'm saying? But that just all comes from understanding, like, where we are receiving our information from. There's a lot more weight on me seeing these AirPods here and deciding whether I'm going to grab them or not. It's a lot more weight on me if I grab these because I know better. I know better. Spiritually, I know what team I'm on, and I already know my position. So I would have to pay a lot more than the average person for touching those AirPods. So why put myself through that position when I don't have to? That's why it's the beauty of understanding, like, we do things because we want to. There's no major force pulling us, like no witchy forces pulling us to say, hey, okay, grab those AirPods. You know what I'm saying? Because the other voice from the other team is stronger. The other voice from the other team is stronger. That belief system where it's pulling from is a lot stronger. You know what I'm saying? And for us, we just have to understand, like, you don't have to defend yourself when other people are making it seem as if, you know, you're in their energy because of some kind of transactional situation that you have in your spirit world. We don't operate the way they do. You know, so for them, there always going to be a flip side and another side. And I was talking to one of my buddies earlier today. It's pretty early. It's probably like just about 10 a.m. now. But I was talking to him about how we always talk about the light and the dark, right? Light and the dark, light and the dark. We all know that dark will not, you know, dark cannot live where there's light. So if you go in a dark room, you got a flashlight. Wherever this flashlight is radiating at, it's going to block out the darkness. I was talking to him about how the universe is set up the same way. You do not see daytime animals out at nighttime. You do not see nighttime animals out at daytime. A lot of motherfuckers don't even talk about this or dive into this. Like, as long as I've been in this spiritual realm, all of us, because we all there, whether you acknowledge it or not, but as long as I've been on this journey, I have not heard that mentioned one time. You do have things that interchange, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see predominantly night animals engaging during the daytime. That's not their energy, it's not their frequency. You don't see all the birds and squirrels and everybody out mingling at nighttime. That's not their energy frequency. Light and dark has its separate times, but it does have that time where they overlap. But that's only for a short period of time. The sun goes down and the darkness comes out. It's only a break. And it's the same thing when it's the opposite. It's only a median space of that transition. But outside of that, the light has the light, the dark has the dark. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't using light and dark as good and bad just now. I was using it meaning just the opposites of each other, light and dark. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that on the opposite. I don't see fucking owls hanging out during the daytime. Yes, you may have a species, one or two. You know, some people are born with 6 fingers on one hand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the predominant bulk of the natural flow of things has a fucking order. We do things because we want to. You know what I'm saying? When I say because we want to, I mean like, okay, I'm working this job because I want to. I already know that I could quit this job, go find another job, and start operating, doing things differently. But I want to. It's the same thing about wanting to be in somebody's energy, even though they're looking at it from a completely different angle because their belief system is over here. They aren't receiving their light over here. They're receiving their dark insight from over here. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to run up too long. Just something to be mindful about. You know what I'm saying? I like to use nature to formulate a better perspective of like what's actually going on out here, to perceive a different insight without using the matrix information that was given. The matrix doesn't tell us that night animals are not out during the daytime and daytime animals are not out at nighttime. They don't explain why. They don't break it down why. We don't hear these things. So that's why I always dive into the nature and the natural flow of life first. My man's was talking about the rooster, you know, a masculine chicken. And you know how it can be annoying sometimes, but in my mind, I was telling him, in my spirit world, I'm like, the roosters are natural alarm clocks. You know how you have alarm clocks in your phone, on your watch, on your clocks. The roosters is the natural alarm clock for the universe. You know what I'm saying? All these animals that's doing these things, they're the natural, they all have a place and position. You know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.